In the bustling port city of Rome, there lived a wealthy merchant named Marcus. His villa was always filled with people. Clients seeking favors, friends enjoying his wine, servants attending to endless guests. The sound of laughter and conversation echoed through marble halls from dawn until midnight. Marcus believed he had conquered life. He was never alone, never silent, never still. But loneliness doesn't care about crowds. One evening, as 100 guests celebrated in his courtyard, Marcus stood at his balcony looking down at the sea of faces. He realized something terrifying. He knew none of them, not really, and worse, none of them knew him. He was surrounded by people, yet completely alone. The Stoic philosopher Seneca once wrote, "A man can be lonely in a crowd, but never alone with his thoughts." Marcus had filled every moment with noise to avoid the one thing he feared most, himself. That night, after the last guest stumbled home, Marcus sat in the deafening silence of his empty villa. For the first time in years, he was physically alone, and it terrified him more than any battle, any loss, any failure ever had. He had confused companionship with connection, noise with meaning, being surrounded with being understood. The next morning, Marcus did something radical. He dismissed his servants for the day. He sent away his business partners. He told his friends he needed time alone. They thought he had gone mad. For 7 days, Marcus lived in complete solitude. No guests, no business, no distractions. The first day was torture. His mind raced with anxiety. What were people saying about him? Was he losing business? Were his friends offended? The silence screamed at him. The second day, he paced his villa like a caged animal. He reached for wine, for food, for anything to fill the void. But he stopped himself. "This," he whispered, "this is what I've been running from." By the third day, something shifted. Marcus began to notice things. The morning light on the courtyard stones, the sound of his own breathing, the thoughts that arose when nothing drowned them out. And he realized these thoughts had always been there, screaming beneath the noise, ignored for decades. He picked up the writings of Epictetus, the slave who became one of Rome's greatest philosophers. One passage struck him like lightning. Who is free? The person who lives as they wish, who cannot be forced, hindered, or compelled, whose choices are unimpeded, whose desires hit their mark, who never falls into what they want to avoid. Marcus understood he had been a slave to the need for constant company, a slave to the fear of being alone, a slave to the opinions of people who didn't truly know him. On the 5th day, he sat in his garden and did something he hadn't done since childhood. He simply existed. No purpose, no agenda, just being. And in that moment of complete solitude, he felt something unexpected. Peace. Not the excitement of a party, not the validation of praise, but a deep, quiet peace that came from nowhere and no one but himself. Marcus Aurelius, the philosopher-emperor, wrote, "Nowhere can man find a quieter or more untroubled retreat than in his own soul." Marcus the merchant was finally finding that retreat. By the 7th day, he understood the truth. Loneliness is not the absence of people. Loneliness is the absence of self. All those years, he hadn't been lonely because he was alone. When Marcus finally reopened his doors, everything had changed. Not his villa, not his business, him. He still met with people, still entertained, still engaged in commerce. But now he came from a place of fullness, not emptiness. He chose connection rather than desperately needed it. His friends noticed immediately. "You're different," they said. "More present, more real." Marcus smiled. "I was lost in the crowd. I found myself in the silence." The great Stoic lesson is this: loneliness is not weakness. It's an invitation to stop running, to stop filling every moment with noise and distraction, to sit with the one person you can never escape, yourself, and make peace. The world will tell you that being alone means something is wrong with you, that you need to be surrounded, validated, constantly connected. But the Stoics knew better. Epictetus taught his students, First learn the meaning of what you say, and then speak. How can you know what you truly think, truly feel, truly believe, if you never give yourself the space to discover it? Solitude is not isolation. Isolation is being cut off from the world. Solitude is deliberately choosing to step away, to recharge, to reconnect with your deepest self. Marcus learned that the strongest people aren't those who are never alone. They're those who can be alone without falling apart, who can sit in silence without fear, who find in themselves a wellspring of peace that no crowd can give and no absence can take away. He learned that you cannot truly connect with others until you've connected with yourself. You cannot love genuinely until you've made peace with your own company. You cannot build meaningful relationships from a foundation of desperate need. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "If you are distressed by anything external, the pain is not due to the thing itself, but to your estimate of it, and this you have the power to revoke at any moment. The pain of loneliness comes not from being alone, but from believing you shouldn't be, from judging yourself as incomplete without others, from seeing solitude as punishment rather than gift." In his final years, Marcus the merchant became known not for his wealth or his parties, but for his wisdom. People came to him seeking advice, and his counsel was always the same. Learn to be your own companion first. Make peace with silence. Discover who you are when no one is watching. Then, and only then, will you truly be able to connect with others. Loneliness is not weakness. It is the doorway to self-knowledge. It is the forge where character is built. It is the classroom where you learn the most important lesson of all. You are complete. You are enough. And in the quiet spaces between the noise, in the solitude you once feared, you will find the strength, peace, and wisdom that no crowd can ever give you. This is the Stoic way. Not to run from being alone, but to embrace it, to use it, to find in the depths of solitude the very thing we all seek in crowds, ourselves.